The Golden Knights are the Stanley Cup champions, obviously, but now the hardest thing in sports to do is go back to back. Obviously, in recent history, there has been two teams to achieve this goal. Lightning did it, and so did the Pittsburgh Penguins. So it is very, very possible for the Knights to do it. So I'm going to be going through this video to see, can the Knights actually go back to back? Before we leave the video, guys, please drop a like, subscribe. It helps out a lot. I'm going to be posting every single day, so make sure to subscribe, baby. We're on the road to 4K. Let's do this, baby. Okay, guys, we are on Cap Friendly, the best NHL website. We love to see this, but here is the Knights roster. So the projected, they have 4 million in cap space. It is not a lot at all, not a lot, but let's see what the roster will look like next season. A good thing here is that they do not have a lot of UFAs or RFAs going into next year. It is a huge thing right there, because if they did, and that honestly happens to a lot of Stanley Cup winning teams, half their team is gone and they can't re-sign all their top players because they just won the Stanley Cup, so their value did go higher. But the Knights, that did not happen except for a couple players. So let's look at the forward core here. They still have their main guys: Jack Eichel, Stone, long-term players. Same thing with William Karlsson. They're here for the long term. Marchessault will be gone after next season, so it is a little bit scary, but hey, he deserves a payday. Smith is a little longer. Nicholas Wall is a little longer. Stevenson and Carrier are short term as well. Who knows what happens with them? It could be trades, could be anything like that. But Kolesar, Cotter, so Amadio. So we got a couple fourth line guys, depth, bottom six roles that are still here and valuable for the Knights, which honestly, they played some big pieces in their Stanley Cup run. But now let's go to the big piece that is a UFA. Phil Kess. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. Obviously, it is Ivan Barbashev, 27 years old. He's a UFA, huge trade deadline acquisition by George McPhee and McCrimmon. So he played obviously a huge role on that Jack Eichel line with him and Marchessault. And hey, I think he priced himself out of Vegas. And I think I saw a tweet of his agent actually saying he would love to come back to Vegas, but I just don't think they can afford him. And I do agree with that. He's probably worth about $7 to $8 million a year for about 7-8 years, and Knights can't do that. Knights can't afford that when they already have a couple guys over $9 million, so they cannot afford that at all. But hey, it could be worse. Obviously, Barbashev was a huge piece for this Knights team. If it wasn't him scoring or getting an apple, it was him laying a huge hit on Gudis and just a threat always on the ice. So he's a very good piece. But who could replace Ivan Barbashev? I have heard some rumbles saying like a Tyler Bertuzzi, who was on Boston. I don't think he's going to be re-signing there. He's a good younger player as well that is a little bit feisty, can put the puck in the net as well. And Jason Zucker on the Penguins. He is a little bit older with some little injury history, but he's still a very good fast player that can play over the edge too. That could get the Knights rolling if they're playing bad. He could put the puck in the net, and he's a very good player. So I could see those two players going, because I do not think Ivan Barbashev will be playing on the Golden Knights next year. But obviously, Teddy Bluger is a UFA as well. He is a solid bottom six player, but he really didn't get to show himself in Vegas this year. In my opinion, he is probably gone, but there is a little maybe chance that he does resign. I doubt it, but there is a chance. Kessel is most likely gone. Dorofiev, he's probably going to get signed for a little baby contract. Brett Howden, maybe. That's a maybe, but those are two RFAs, so we'll see what happens there. But the forward core, hey, you still have majority of your team, so honestly, it's a huge W. Maybe someone from the bottom six can sneak into the top six if you can't sign a Bertuzzi, a Zucker, anything like that. But I like the forward core remaining forward. I think it's good. I think it's good right there. And the best part about the Knights here is their defense are identical next season. Identical. Pietrangelo, Martinez, Theodore, McNabb, Whitecloud, Haig, Ben Hutton, just in case. This team, the defense was the huge part of their playoff success. Just making sure Aiden Hill did not have any grade A opportunities every single game, and they did that perfectly. Martinez, great shot blocker. McNabb, great shot blocker. Whitecloud, Haig was a great bottom pairing. Martinez did his thing. Pietrangelo did his thing. Shea Theodore stepped up in the end. So this defense, I think they're going to stay intact. No one's going to get traded. No one's going to get re-signed. No one's going to get replaced. I think this is going to be a perfect decor for next year. They're going to run it back because, hey, they did it once. They could do it again. But another huge question mark for the Golden Knights is, what about goaltending, man? What do they do on goaltending? They played with 5 goalies this year, right? They played with all these goalies. Aiden Hill won the Stanley Cup, but Laurent Brossoit was a great first couple rounds. But Logan Thompson was really good in the regular season. What do they do? I think I know what's going to happen. Logan Thompson 100% is their goalie. He's the only goalie that's honestly signed right now, so he is no matter what on the Vegas Golden Knights next year. And I do think Logan Thompson is the guy for the Golden Knights. It makes sense. If he didn't get hurt, he would have been the start of the playoffs 100%. And he has a very, very small contract, so you love that for the guy. He's 2 years on a 7.66 contract. That is just perfect team deal for the Knights. Then they have Laurent Brossoit, Aiden Hill, Jonathan Quick, done, probably retired. Go out on a Stanley Cup. You got to do that, because if anything, he'll sign for a bad team and be a backup again. Maybe sign with the Knights. I don't think he will. If he will, he'd be in the press box. If I'm being honest, I don't think he'd be a solid backup. Brossoit or Aiden Hill. I think Aiden Hill probably priced himself out of Vegas. If I'm being honest on Aiden Hill, I wouldn't sign Aiden Hill to be my starter. I know he had a really good playoffs, but we see it all the time. We saw it with Jordan Binnington. We saw it with Matt Murray. They win Stanley Cups, then they sign a big contract, then they suck. Matt Murray couldn't break the Ottawa top 3 goalies. You know what I mean? Like, he was that bad, and he was horrible last year in Toronto as well. And Binnington, I don't even need to speak on Binnington. He's not any good anymore after they won the Stanley Cup. So I feel like they rode the momentum, and they can get the money as he deserves the money, because obviously there's a chance that he's unreal. But I don't think I would take the chance on him. But I do think one of the bad teams in the NHL will give him a bigger contract just to hope for the best. So hey, get your bag, Aiden, get your bag. But I think Laurent Brossoit will take a friendly deal, because he was good. I don't think he'll take probably 1.5 to 2 million a year in Vegas for probably 2 years to be the backup goalie behind Logan Thompson. I think that is what happens. Obviously, they do have Leonard, but Leonard just never play hockey again. You're just not any good. But other than that, man, the Knights team is going to be damn similar to next year. Maybe they sign a top 6. Maybe they get more depth on them. If they get more depth on them, that's scary. But this team is going to be very, very good. And they're destined to win the Stanley Cup again. In my opinion, do I think they can? Obviously, yes, they can. They're probably the best Western Conference team again if they get this good goalie situation steady into the playoffs next year. I think they can do it, man. If they can get good goaltending, I think that's a huge issue, the huge W for them. And once again, obviously, injury. If Stone stays healthy, if all of their top players stay healthy, and the depth stays healthy, this team is very, very lethal. So I think the Knights can go back to back. Make sure to comment down below. Do you think the Knights can go back to back, and what do you think they do in the offseason? Maybe trade, anything like that? What do you guys think? Make sure to comment down below. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe while you're down there. But thank you guys for watching. Let's go Knights, baby. Let's go Knights. Make sure to comment down below more video ideas for me to do in the future that you are interested in. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys in a different video. Much love, and once again, guys, be great, and I'll see you guys later.